On this episode of Delivering Marketing Joy, we talk with Ruth Verver about why little things make the big difference. Hey there, and welcome to another edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. I'm your host, Kirby Hasseman, and joining me today is a rock star and a person I got the chance to see speak here recently, Ruth Verver. She's Paperclip Promotions. She's a partner there. Ruth, thanks so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it.
Sure, I'm happy to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Oh, you bet, you bet. So speaking of that event, I got to see you speak. You were one of the presenters there at that event, and you talked about your loyalty program, and that really piqued my interest. I thought that was pretty cool. So can you tell us about the things you do to create a special experience?
Sure. Really from the beginning, we want customers to really feel like a welcome member of the family, so to speak. We do, and also our company believes from the beginning, like to actually use promotional products. It's really funny for me talking to people in this industry, how often people don't use promotional products, even though, walk the walk and talk the talk. So from the beginning, as they get a new customer mailer from us, thanking them for being a customer, and it will include a product. And then we have products set out that we like to use for special events.
Okay.
If they're having a baby, they get a gift. If they're going on a big trip, we have a gift set aside for those customers. If it's their birthday, we send gifts out for their birthdays. If they refer us, we have a gift for that as well. And really, it's a lot of work, but it really is. But it means a lot to them. And I love telling this story. Once I was at an event for a customer. It was like their HR conference, and this one customer had just had a birthday and came up to me like 3 times thanking me for the gift that we had sent them. And it was crazy. It was like a 60-cent like paddle ball. It was just a fun little gimmicky something, and she absolutely loved it. And I think it gave her an opportunity in her office for people to ask her about it, and she got to tell them it was her birthday, and she kind of got to feel special. And that's 60 cents, like really, I mean, I could have given her, $500. And it would have the same impact. So it's important. And going a little further, we like to take what the customers that we call like our VIPs and try to personalize things for them. It just really makes their experience with us a little bit better. We all feel, Amazon is so smart with their technology, right? When you're logging on and shopping with Amazon and they suggest products to you, and the experience is so much better for us in that scenario. We can't really offer technology-wise. We're not set up to do that for our customer, but we can figure out how to personalize the service for them in other ways.
Right. For
example, if we know they like to do all their paperwork on the 15th of the month, so it really helps them to get their invoices on the 14th of the month. For certain customers, we can really strategize and try to help them with that type of service, because it just makes their life a whole lot easier. And if we can make their life easier, why would they want to work with anybody else?
Yeah. No, it makes total sense. I love the idea of actually using what we do for a living as a part of our actual marketing. It is, you're right, it's mind-blowing when you see people and when they're like, hey, what do you guys do for this? I'm like, really? Like, that feels like something you would have thought about. So I love that you use that as a part of your mix. So in listening to you, I got the feeling that you thought little things, I use the quotations, right? Little things often make a big difference. Why do you think that is?
I think it's because we all want to be made to feel special. We all want to, like the birthday gift, we all want to be recognized and remembered on our birthday. We did a mailer once for customers. Again, it was a very inexpensive thing that went a really long way for us. It's a little cheeky. But we said, we whisk you a happy Thanksgiving, and we sent everyone a little branded whisk. Again, it cost us $1. But what we got out of that, people were, after Thanksgiving or in the prep for Thanksgiving, we were getting emails and text messages about them using the whisk to make grandma's cookies And, like all these memories came out, and all of a sudden we were sharing recipes, and all of a sudden we were in their kitchen with them, the night before Thanksgiving. And how amazing is that?
Yeah.
So it's really, it's for $1. I mean, it's really pretty amazing. And really, I noticed myself, and I shared this when I was speaking, but I noticed myself as a consumer. I was taking a cat to a vet, and I had to go to a new office, a new company, and they sort of had a loyalty program set up. And I noticed as a consumer how much more fun the experience was. Mm-hmm. They greeted me as a new customer, offered me a bottle of wine. Because I referred someone, I got a thank you note in the mail with a discount, like a credit on my account. And it was like the gifts never ended and the appreciation never ended. And it's just so much more fun going to their office and experiencing that versus the regular vet that takes fine care of my pet. It's really eye-opening. It's the little things really make a difference, and you don't have to spend 1 million hours a month on it, and you don't have to spend a lot of money. It's just, you just have to think about it on what's important to your customer and where you can really make an impact.
I'll tell you what, when you were talking, that was actually probably the piece of your speech that I remember the most, is that you were talking about your vet, and you're like, they didn't do anything wrong. Yep. And they still lost your business because this other person did those, or this other organization did. That was like, ooh, that's the message, right? For an entrepreneur, a small business, a salesperson, is like, you can lose the business if you don't do anything wrong, if you don't do the little things right.
Sure. Yeah. I was even just meeting with a big prospect of mine yesterday, and a couple of new contacts were in there, and I've been prospecting. It's a big company. I've been prospecting them for years. And the woman that I've been in contact with gets our birthday mailer, and she gets our quarterly mailers. And she made a point of telling everyone in the room, like, how, unique our marketing is, and how special we make her feel. And everyone in the room was like, oh, sign me up. And then all of a sudden now I've got all these other new contacts at this prospect. And, so like it really does work. It really does make people, the little things, it really makes people feel special, and it's totally worth it.
That's awesome. That is so awesome. So obviously we were at that event together, and it was designed, I loved it, to inspire and re-energize, right? And I like that. But what do you think is the most valuable about events like that, both in and out of the industry?
Well, it's interesting that you said in and out of the industry. Yeah. I'm not good about going to events out of the industry, but I really want to be better at that. Yeah. Because we're so comfortable, in our group and in our medium, and I think it's important that, we go to advertising week, or that we. I made some notes at NALC this year, actually, because it's on a goal of mine for 2019 to get out to some events that I haven't been to before, some educational, like professional development events. Mm-hmm. I made some notes of other conferences that other people go to, because I'm kind of a schoolgirl at heart. I don't think you can ever stop learning. Yeah. And I know people in this industry that don't go to Education Day at Expo and don't go to these conferences because they think, I've been doing this for 20 years. What else can I learn? And I feel like their careers and their businesses are going to be at a standstill for a really long time. Yeah. So really, we can never stop learning.
Yeah, and again, I like, you're right about those people, and I'd say that those people exist in every industry, and the people who are most successful are the ones who are constantly trying to evolve and learn. And it's funny too, because even in books or presentations where I'm like, it was kind of rudimentary or it was basic, I always take something, Sure. Like, and a lot of times it's like, I always talk about the things where I'm like, I know them, but I'm not actually doing them. Right? And I'm like, okay, yeah, sometimes those are the best ones, right? So, well, that's cool. You have answered my 3 questions. I appreciate that. I give everybody a chance to ask me a question. Do you have one for me?
Sure. At that same event, you and Bill spoke about content marketing, and I loved your title about if you suck at content marketing, how to suck less. I thought it was brilliant. Anyway, and it was a really great presentation. I learned a lot, and I think a lot of people out there probably struggle with content marketing also. Yeah. So under that subject, I'd like to ask you, if someone out there is sort of struggling and isn't sure, how to tame the beast, like where to start, like what would be your suggestion?
Man, that's a great question, and I'll try and make it quick, right? Like, but I would say for most people, I always say pick a lane, like the thing that you're most comfortable with. So, like, if you really like to write, do a blog. If you like to take pictures, go to Instagram or or Facebook. If you like to talk, like I certainly do, maybe a podcast is in your wheelhouse or video. But pick one of those lanes and work on that. So that would be the first thing. Because I think so many times it's like, oh, I got to do everything and be good at everything. And almost everybody who's well known started in one place. Seth Godin started writing. John Lee Dumas was podcasts. Gary Vee was all about video. So pick one lane and do that all in. Until you get really good at that. And then the biggest thing is, from my perspective, is consistency. I think so many times people are like, they leave that conference and they're fired up, and for about a month they kill it. And then they don't do anything for 6 months. And you don't build an audience on content marketing, social media in a month. It takes time. It takes consistent effort. I think I talked about this in the presentation. It's a lot like fitness, right? Everybody's looking for the fad diet. And in reality, if you just eat less and work out more every day, it works, right? And so consistency is the big thing. And it doesn't mean every day, right? It can be once a week. It could be once, but to do it at the same time all the time. And if you do that over time, those would be there's more to it, but in a short answer, pick a lane and show up every week, come hell or high water. Bill actually talks about this, and I love it. I mean, if it's Christmas Day and his blog comes out and it's a Monday or whatever, his blog comes out. Like, he doesn't care.
Yeah, he's going to have his adult beverage.
That's right, on Friday. Yep.
Yeah.
And I actually think that's the genius of what he does, in the sense that he shows up. And on this program, it comes out every Wednesday. And, that takes time. When I first started doing this one, it said, I'd read that the average web show doesn't get past 5 episodes. Well, I started with 5 in the can, because I'm like, I'm going to make it past that, and then hopefully it builds from there. So those would be 2 quick ones. And, so I appreciate the question, though.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
Well, cool. Ruth, thank you so much for taking the time. We will definitely have to do this again, okay?
You got it. Thank you.
Cool. Well, that's going to wrap up this edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. We'll see you next time.